Morning and thanks for being with us. I'm Heather Abraham. Hope you are having a good Monday and a wonderful weekend as well. I know I had a great time this weekend with my husband. We went to the beer festival. We did not bring the kids to that one. Then we went to Disney on Ice. We brought the kids there on Sunday. One great thing about Pittsburgh is there's always something to do. And our first guest knows that very well. We want to welcome Sean Collier of Pittsburgh Magazine and author of the popular After Dark blog on the Pittsburgh Magazine website. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning. I could have done both, Disney on Ice and the beer festival. That seems fine.
Very different things, yeah. Did not bring the kids to the beer festival.
That I agree with.
That would have been different.
Pre-gaming Disney on Ice seems like a great idea to me.
We did see a couple people pushing strollers, which is that was totally fine with me. Yeah, if they're infants, it doesn't matter.
No.
So let's talk about After Dark. And this has been around for several years now, and you kind of did a spin-off too, including some things in your Hall of Fame.
Right. I've been writing the Nightlife blog for Pittsburgh Magazine since 2011, I think. Long enough that I don't remember exactly when it started. And at a certain point, I thought I wanted a way to write about and acknowledge things that are part of the fabric of Pittsburgh nightlife, that there's not necessarily news, there's not a new opening, but are such a big part of nightlife in Pittsburgh that I wanted to acknowledge them on the blog, and kind of arrogantly invented the After Dark Hall of Fame, where I'm the entire selection committee, not being humble about it at all. But yeah, about 3 years ago started inducting things and places into the After Dark Hall of Fame.
I love this too. Eaton Park is in your Hall of Fame, is that right?
That was my first entry, yes.
Well, and I remember, and I love the write-up on this, I love this because when I was a kid and after football games, we would go to Eaton Park. You could still smoke in Eaton Park.
Right.
With the half wall, do you remember that?
With the glass window that magically kept all the smoke and smoke smell
somehow it did that
out of the rest of the restaurant. That was exactly why. Before we were 21, before, as soon as I knew anybody who could drive, really the first thing in Pittsburgh that teenagers encounter as nightlife is commandeering a booth at Eaton Park until the wee hours of the morning with their friends. It's seemed to be the uniting force, because even when you are going to bars, you'll end up back at Eaton Park at the end of the night, or you're taking your family out, you go there. It's the only part of Pittsburgh nightlife that really feels truly universal to me. So that's why it was the first entry. And
so some of the other places, like you said, they're not necessarily surprising, but they're a part of Pittsburgh nightlife. Carson Street, for instance. Carson Street
I had to get to, and as much as I think a lot of us like to pretend that we age out of Carson Street at a certain point, we always end up back there, whether it's going to an event, going to a concert, a show at the City Theater, or now I find myself going back to Carson Street a lot, but during the day or on a Sunday morning and shopping and hitting different restaurants. That's, other than Eaton Park, is the closest thing to, everyone knows this as part of nightlife in Pittsburgh.
You also have Stage AE on there.
That was the most recent one a couple of weeks ago. I looked at the list and noticed that I didn't have a concert venue. And for me, there are places that I like. I like Mr. Smalls a lot, but a lot of the iconic venues are places that aren't there anymore, places like Club Laga when I was a teenager and going to shows. Stage AE, I think, has become the epicenter of live music in Pittsburgh. And the Genius, which is modeled after a sister club in Columbus, is the indoor-outdoor thing. That if you're an up-and-coming band, the inside version of Stage AE is kind of just small enough for you to fill. And if you're a big act, I've seen bands there that play arenas. Like I've seen Weezer there and Jack White, who will do arenas in other cities, and Stage AE is big enough to accommodate them. It feels like a venue that's good for everything. I'm an unabashed pro wrestling fan, and Stage AE has started having pro wrestling events, and I noticed this is also the best place in town for wrestling. If you can have Alice Cooper on Friday and wrestling on Saturday and a Steelers tailgate on Sunday, you can do anything.
All in one. I love that place. And definitely a great place to see a concert, too. Also making your list for Hall of Fame, Needs Hotel and Arsenal Lanes.
Arsenal Lanes, I was thinking about one day and remembered how long it had been there and how much it had become this nightlife bowling hybrid with bars and with events, but as a place to go at any time. And Needs Hotel, that's true old school Pittsburgh bar, right? And there's one in every neighborhood and everyone has their favorite, but Needs kind of stands out to me as the prototype for the old Pittsburgh dive, and I say dive in a friendly way, not condescendingly.
Right. So and that was just Slim Forsyth, right? Yeah. So I was looking through the blog this morning, and I came across one of your more recent posts on After Dark about Tequila Cowboy. Not a Hall of Famer just yet.
No.
But I was laughing when I was reading your write-up on it.
Well, now there's a tradition where after a bit of Steelers coaching trouble at Tequila Cowboy this year, I said, well, now I have to go. And that was the second year in a row after Joey Porter had some trouble on the South Side. I thought, okay, now whenever there's a Steelers coach in trouble at a bar, I have to go write about the bar. And I think the response next year is at the beginning of the season, I'm going to write an entry on bars that are appropriate for Steelers coaches. That's how we'll respond.
But you said something like, I'm no longer looking for loud bars to relive college days, but some people are.
Some people still like that. I understand. You know, what's the one on the South Side? Jekyll and Hyde's.
Right.
When I, for some reason, want a drink that's not too expensive and for it to be really loud and crowded, if that hits, that's where I go. Everyone has their bar like that.
Right.
Tequila Cowboy is, I think it felt like if a future civilization discovered Tequila Cowboy, then they would understand country music.
Right.
Like flags and loudspeakers and whiskey. Oh, okay, I get what that was now.
Good. All right, well, thank you, Sean, for joining us.
Thank you.
And now you have the top picks. It's time to check things out for yourself. Plan a date night, experience our nightlife, and you can look for a link to Sean's blog at kdka.com/PTL.